Next, let's welcome Jarmo Pulkkinen. He's specializing in adoption of artificial intelligence in public, social and healthcare services at the Central Uusimaa Wellbeing Service County.
Hello everyone. I'm giving you fresh research data from Public Health and Social Care Organization. I hope you can hear because I didn't get the fancy equipment. I'm an AI lead in Wellbeing Services County of Central Uusimaa, Finnish Keusote, and I'm giving you the employee level view for the AI usage, competence, training needs, and motivations. And we are now talking about public health and social care together. We are a middle-sized well-being services county. We have around 4,200 employees and around 200,000 residents in 6 municipalities in southern Finland. And my background is in administrative sciences. I have a fresh PhD from University of Lapland. So let's get into the data and the background. We wanted to know about our employees, what is the usage, training needs, motivations to use AI tools. We're talking about generative AI, AI features in patient and client software. When we look at the future, maybe 5 to 10 years, we want all the AI features be included in those programs our professionals are using. So we don't want to copy-paste information to generative AI tools. We want good software and features in all the current programs our professionals are using. So that's my message to you all vendors. Please make good products so our employees can benefit those AI features in the future. This fresh research from August, September, and we got a response rate of 10% from our employees. That's typical in Keusote internal surveys. So I would argue that it's a good representation of our employee base. And it's probably the first survey, Wellbeing Services County-wide survey in Finland, I would argue also. So that's the main results. AI adoption is in early stages in Keusote. If we take a look at from administrative side, 75% of our main strategy administration sector has used some form of AI, Copilot, ChatGPT, and that kind of tools, for example. But only 27% of our elderly and disability services employees have used any kind of AI. Let's pause that. Only 27% of our elderly and disability services employees have used any AI in their work. So as Johan said, we are in the early stages. There's a lot of hype around AI, but I would argue that we have a long way to go, even with generative AI tools. And what about self-assessed competence? It was moderate. Mean was 2.6 from Likert scale from 1 to 5, and no group differences. If we take a look at the healthcare side or the social care side, there was no group differences between those service sectors. Training needs are high. Over 80% of our employees said that they want some kind of training about AI. So training needs is very high. So there's a lot of opportunities for the companies and service sector who are giving some kind of education about AI usage in our public health and social care organizations. So what about the motivations to use? They are very practical. Our employees want easy-to-use tools that are beneficial for the employee. So if we take a look at from the political side or the top management, they have different priorities than our employees, I would argue. So the employees want easy-to-use tools that are beneficial for the employee. And what about qualitative analysis? The mixed attitude. I would argue that the main thing is that there's a lot of enthusiasm. There's no much about maybe fear of using AI. Our employees want guidelines, easy-to-use tools, and beneficial tools to use. So what is my message for the other well-being services countries and for us also? We want useful and beneficial tools for our employees. And very targeted training. We ask about training needs. Usually they don't want ethical discussions or training. They want very hands-on training. What's the beneficial for us as an employee? So let's dive into the nitty-gritty. The majority of our employees has not used any kind of AI in their work. Finland is leading in many digitalization metrics, but in this AI context, we are maybe a little bit behind for maybe Sweden, for example. So from our study, majority have not used even Copilot. And here on the right side, you can see there's a lot of differences between groups. For example, in healthcare services, around 50% have not used any kind of AI tools. And what about how common is the usage? Daily users, 16%, weekly users, 39%. And from the users, 50% have used rarely or monthly, for example. So there's a lot of work to do on that front also. And what about the tools? Like I said, if we take a look 5-10 years ahead, we want all the AI features be included in the good programs that Johan and other vendors are providing for us. But at the moment, Copilot Chat is the most used, then followed by ChatGPT, and features in software and system only 4%. Let that sink in. What about self-assessed competence? It's moderate, as you can see, very classical distribution. And we ask, what is the reason that our employees are not using AI? I'm not sure if you can see the small print, but the most important thing, that lack of information about existing AI application and those are suitable for work task, is the highest rated item. And reasons, the barriers are lack of knowledge and competence, not resistance or fears. So just give us good products and our employees will use that. That's my main message for the vendors, I would say. And the top motivators, very classical: opportunity to enhance efficiency in work tasks, improve quality of work, very classical reasons, motivations. And as people who are working in administration and top management, organizational strategic goals are at the bottom of the motivation list, not a surprising result. And our employees don't want pilots. As you can see, pilots are only registering maybe the third least motivation thing. We don't want to give pilots, we want products that are in production and are useful. Over 80% wants training. So there's a lot of work to be done in HR departments. And I would, in closing remarks, to say that we have different kind of employees in our organization. We have digital frontrunners, we have development-oriented gap recognizers, we have observers, and we have untapped potential. So motivations, learning needs, and training needs differ in our employees. So if you are providing education or training, they should be targeted role-based or competence-based or software-based, for example. So I would close up that AI belongs to everyone, from the top management to the employee level. So let's work together to make AI useful and safe assistant. And I'm happy to connect on LinkedIn as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, I fully agree. AI belongs to everyone. That's well said.